I know many of you have been where I said I'm going to go. It's 9 o'clock at night, and I had stopped eating at 7 p.m. But for some reason, I could feel those cookies calling my name. And then since I wasn't answering, the potato chips was calling me too. So you know what I did? I reached for my little friend, my favorite Trident sugar-free gum. No calories, fresh breath, and it keeps me from overeating. Seems to be harmless, right? Wrong. But the irony of that all, I had been chewing gum every night for 48 years. It was part of my life. So this didn't just start in 2026. It started in 1977 when I was 11 years old because I graduated from bubble gum to what I call grown-up gum. Back then, it was double mint. And I love the double mint. I'm going to tell you what I love most. I love the snap, crackle, and pop. I'm always popping it, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And I loved it. It was just a part of me. But here's the part that was crazy. I'm a good student, top 5 in my class, getting A's in citizenship, but every month I took 3 demerits in class and a paddle for chewing gum. Isn't that crazy? I didn't know it then that I was addicted to the gum. Now, the irony of it all is that how do you get addicted to gum? Well, you are. So one of the things that I realized is that the gum traveled with me through my whole 48 years, all through high school, all through college. It even followed me in the building of Automation Workz. But here's the irony of it all. Automation Workz is a coaching firm that created some software by the name of SenseiiWyze that detects behavior insights and patterns from people. We sell it to companies to help their employees grow. But the irony of it all, I didn't even see my own pattern. But I do this for a living. Isn't that irony? It was crazy. But what I realized is that as I'm going through my life, that I may be addicted to gum, but I never admitted it to myself. So I decided, I've always been heavy. I always struggled with my weight. Didn't matter if I was walking 5, 6, 7, 8 miles. Didn't matter if I'm biking. And I even did a marathon with biking. And now I'm addicted to Pilates, 8 to 10 sessions a week. And yet I'm still heavy. I'm thinking, what the hell? So I decided to do what I tell my clients to do. We're going to track it, and we're going to put it into AI, and then we're going to see what patterns evolved. Now, I did that, so I tracked all my eating, I tracked my fasting, I tracked all my macros, and loaded them into Claude. Now, if you don't want reality, don't use AI, because it's going to tell you the truth, right? So I loaded it in there, and I started seeing little results, little things, little results. And then the one day I had gas so bad. So I went into Claude and says, I have gas. And Claude says, so what did you eat? A harmless question. And I said, well, I'm trying to increase my proteins. So I eat this protein granola. And it was like, nah, don't eat it because you're allergic to whey probably. That's why you have gas. So I made a little comment that I'm just going to go back to chewing my gum. It's a harmless comment. In bold, black, capital letters, Claude says, stop chewing gum immediately. And I was like, my AI just went rogue. And I looked at it and went, I have to stop using this AI. I just do. So I still was entering my macros, and this for 3 weeks, even if I didn't ask Claude, it would say, are you still chewing gum? Did you stop chewing gum? Even when I didn't ask it. So I was like, I'm gonna have to get off of Claude because it is belligerent. It went rogue. So even it kept going and telling me why I needed to stop chewing my gum. And I was like, well, maybe there should be some research. So I did a little Google search, didn't get much from it. So the one particular day when it asked me, how many hours do you chew gum? And I had to sit and think, okay, I start chewing gum at 9 o'clock. I'm up till midnight, so that's 3 hours. And that was a very interesting question that Claude asked me. And I was put in the 3 hours, and Claude says, stop gum immediately. Now, I wasn't upset because I'd already seen it before. They've said it to me before. But it's when it said it 4 times I'm like, oh my God, maybe this is serious. So this is what Claude showed me. Confessions of a drug addict, of a gum addict. This is what I was doing. This little harmless gum is not really harmless. Because what I realized that Claude showed me is that while I'm chewing this gum, I am swallowing air and I'm getting gas bloatation. I didn't know that. Did anybody else know that? Because my doctor didn't even tell me that, right? Then it tells me that while I'm swallowing air and my body is not getting fed because it's expecting food and I didn't give it any, my cortisol gets elevated. I was like, okay, I've heard of that. That creates stress. I get that. Then it says this little, the sugar-free, it's not really sugar-free. It doesn't have cane sugar in it, but it has xylitol and sorbitol, which that sugar alcohol gives you more gas and more cortisol. Then the part that's the killer, which was what got my attention, it says that your insulin is gonna spike and you have poor sleep. And then Claude had the nerve to say to me, I bet you wake up every night at 3:15 a.m. Now that got my attention because Claude was right. It wasn't exactly 3:15, it was more like 3:05. Close enough, right? And so I realized I am addicted to gum and that this little harmless pack of gum, Trident, was doing me in. Now I'm gonna tell you why I said I was addicted. I never left home without my gum. I keep 5 or 6 packages in my cabinet. I keep 3 packages in my purse and a couple packages in my car in case I couldn't find a pack, right? That is an addiction. It is. But the thing about that type of addiction, there's no intervention. Who intervenes? Say, oh, you're a gum addict, let us jump in, except for it was Claude, right? So I realized that I needed to let it go, that this piece of gum was my invisible saboteur. But here's what ended up happening. After he told me that 3:05, I woke up, and you know that was happening every night, I didn't get good sleep. I realized maybe I should listen to Claude. Maybe it has a point. So I'm going to stop chewing the gum. But remember, I've been chewing it for 48 years. I stopped chewing the gum, and within 6 months, I lost 58 pounds. I had to pin up my jacket today because the belly is gone, right? So Claude taught me something, that the gum is not really gum. It's an invisible saboteur. And all of us have invisible saboteurs. The problem is we've lived with them so long, they become second nature to us, like my gum. I've been chewing it for 48 years. We don't even think about it. The question is, what is your invisible saboteur? So the issue is you probably say, I don't have any. You're lying. You are lying. I'll give you a good example. Some people are addicted to their phones. Their children come and talk to them, and they scrolling. They ain't heard nothing their kids said, so you don't have a good relationship. So if you were to put that in AI, it would tell you you need to spend more time with your children. Or you're on your job and you like to please everybody, and you stop doing your work to please everybody, which means instead of you working 40 hours a week, you probably only spent 90 minutes working because you've been interrupted, which is why you can't get a promotion. That happens to us every day. The issue is, what are you going to do about it? If you don't know your pattern, you're not going to do anything. So I'm going to ask people, when you leave today, maybe not even leave because some of those have your phone in front of you, I want you to start tracking your life for the next 2 weeks. Every hour, every minute, to do everything that you do so you can see what is your pattern. Because you're going to find, like I found, my gum, my little salvation, was my pattern, and it was the saboteur for me losing weight. The second thing I want you to do is when you get finished tracking you for the 2 weeks, I want you to load the whole 2 weeks into a chat box. Claude, OpenAI, I don't care which one, just do it. And I want you to sit back and see what it says. Don't be angry and belligerent like I was. Because I literally canceled my Claude a couple times. Because I was mad, right? Don't do what I did. Listen to the tracking and let it tell you what your pattern is and fix it. Because some of the patterns once you break them, may be good for you. Like the one you said you want to take your kids on a vacation, but you keep rewarding yourself by buying little things, $20 here, $30 here. And when you really look up, you didn't spend $400, which was a vacation. Don't let that be your gum. I want you to either listen to what's happening to you and to be able to improve your life and and don't do like I do and be addicted to gum.